Okay, I hope the Zoom and everything and the audio are tolerable on this. Hello, fellow Sugrues. I've been on just off and on the last few months. I've been on kind of a not a genealogy kick exactly, but just I've been trying to learn about the area where the Sugrues are from on the tip of the Ring of Kerry. And I've discovered a few interesting books that I thought maybe this would be a way to share them in a way that's more useful than just a quick email. So anyway, I actually had a couple other ones that I also wanted to do, and I told Patrick and Emily about them, but the book depository at the library's a little bit late getting them to me, so I'm just going to go with what I have, and if anyone's interested, I can Skype you maybe about other ones, or maybe just do these in the or maybe I can just do this again next week or something like that, but I just want to do this right now before I forget. Anyway, this book is the neatest thing. You guys have no idea. Here we go. The Iveragh Peninsula, a cultural atlas of the Ring of Kerry, by the University of Cork Press, and these professors here, John Crowley and John Sheehan, and it's just the neatest thing. It's packed with maps, historic old maps of this is Sugrue land right around here. This area, basically in the middle of that, right there is Sugrue territory. But this whole atlas is just the neatest thing. I like, here's an old map from 1811 that I bookmarked. There are many similar things. This isn't the way to do this. Yeah, there's a lot of things in here. It just walks you through from prehistory all the way up to the 21st century. This was published in 2009, and it starts with standing stones, archaeological sites that are all over the Iveragh Peninsula, and it goes through the early Irish kingdoms, and then the Vikings, and just through everything, through the troubles with the English and the famine and the transatlantic telegraph cable, and just every single thing. The early section has a lot about nature. I don't know if you guys can see. This is like an Audubon section here. It shows the different native birds of the Iveragh. I thought that was neat. You can see the different hills. That's McGillicuddy's Reeks right there. And just more maps than you would believe. They're just all over the place. There's these different maps. This is the McGillicuddy's Reeks section here. But these maps are all over the place. This was a neat thing. This is about the Skelligs, very close to where the Sugrues are from. This churchyard here is in Ballinskelligs, a village that's close to Sugrue land, and I don't know if you can see it, but it says Sugrue on this little gravestone there. I don't think the pixelation's good enough. It does though. You can see a Sugrue buried there, possibly one of us. Anyway, there's just so many things in here about local legends, local music. Again with the maps, just constantly these old maps everywhere. I just felt obliged to share this. This is Daniel O'Connell, the great emancipator that probably a lot of you have heard about. Typical old cottages. Anyway, it's the most beautiful book, and I felt moved to share it, and I hope I could tell you more about it, and it's on Amazon.com, I know, or you could just get it from the library, but I just think it's a valuable thing to possibly get in the family, maybe a few copies of it. So I wanted to mention that. And again, just email me. I know this is going on the internet, but this is all family seeing this, so just email me if you want to talk about it, and I'll tell you any neat thing that I found in it. So that's that. And another neat thing, which I found because of that book, the reason I'm even aware of this is because of that book that I just showed you. These are from one of the libraries in Cambridge. there's this author, Michael Kirby. Okay, Michael Kirby, who wrote 2 separate books about the Skelligs and about Ballinskelligs, which was the closest major village to Sugrue land, to where our ancestors are from. This is Skelligs calling, and I'm sorry, those are the 2 books that I've had. I'm still hoping for another one from the library, but it's still at the depository. Anyway, they just talk about life there, like what people's lives were like, what the inside of their homes were like, different spots where the author would go fishing, games kids would play. I found at least 3 Sugrues mentioned in it. This guy's father was, he would go fishing with a Michael Sugrue. The author, by the way, was born in 1906, and he just passed away in 2005. He was a few weeks away from becoming 99, apparently. Anyway, he just talks about like stories that his parents and his grandparents told him as a child about life in the 19th century in Ballinskelligs, right where the Sugrues were. There's just a lot of very local people who lived there, local, you know, what it was like to harvest turf, to burn turf in their huts in the winters, what it was like to, you know, dances, church things, what types of fish were good, just everything about life in a, you know, the way people lived when my great-grandparents and before that were alive. You know, anything more than 1 great-grandparents, they were probably within a few miles of that for quite a few generations back in the Ballinskelligs area. So I wanted to pass that along. Trying to think if I'm missing anything here. Yeah, did I say this? He mentioned there are at least 3 Sugrues that the author mentions in it. There's this Michael Sugrue, who was his dad's fishing partner, and a few people who were affiliated with one of the transatlantic cable stations. But anyway, just remember, Michael Kirby is the author, and the titles are Skelligs. The first one is called Skelligside. This is the first book he did, and Skelligs Calling is the second one. And then there's another one called Skelligs Sunset that I haven't been able to get, unfortunately. So that was that. I just wanted to share that. Oh, one other thing. That guy, that author, moved to New Haven. I almost forgot this. He actually moved briefly to New Haven in the 30s, and he lived at 33 Wilson Street. And he lived with his sister, I think it was. But while he lived there, he actually worked on the New Haven, New York Hartford Railroad, or whatever it was called at the time. I know its name's changed a lot, but he worked on that railroad where William Creighton was an engineer. So that's another interesting connection. I think we're, in a number of ways, we're 1 degree of separation away from this guy. I bet he knew several people that, you know, we have some connection to. So just an interesting thing. I felt like I should pass that along. So that was neat. And then another thing that I wanted to pass on, I found through that first book that I showed you, through the Cultural Atlas of the Iveragh Peninsula, I found a, let's see if I can do this now. I Googled Wilhelm Dogen, D-O-E-G-E-N, Wilhelm, like, I guess, Kaiser Wilhelm, and then D-O-E, like a deer, a female deer, G-E-N, but that's one word, D-O-E-G-E-N. And he was a German scholar who traveled to County Kerry in the 20s. And this is really neat. He recorded this guy in 1928. This person was born in 1868, basically around the same time as my great-grandparents. And his name was Padraig O'Keefe. I think you can see it. Padraig O'Keefe. And so this is a recording of him in 1928. He was almost exactly between the ages of my great-grandparents, who were born in the 1860s and 70s. So anyway, I found this recording of him singing, and I can explain, if you want to email me, I'll explain it again how to find this. But just listen to this. This is a guy basically my great-grandparents' age singing a traditional Irish song. So anyway, that guy was, I don't know if I made this clear, he was, born in the 1860s in an area of Ballinskelligs called Bolus Head, really walking distance away from, within an hour walk of where the Sugrues were from, and it's given the population density of the area, that person would have known some of the same people that my great-grandparents would have known, and great-great-grandparents and so on. He might have even gone to school with people that, now that I think of it, people that were somehow connected to the Sugrues of that generation. So anyway, to me that just gives me goose pimples. It's just to think of basically of the voice of that generation is very spooky to me. So I wanted to pass that along. And then another thing is there is a... Oh wait, let me just to explain how to find that. If you were to Google Wilhelm Dogen, as I said before, Wilhelm and then D-O-E-G-E-N as one word, that's his last name, that was his last name. That was the German scholar who recorded this. And there are 6 songs by this Padraig O'Keefe guy that were recorded by Wilhelm Dogen, and they're all online now on this service that I would never have found if it wasn't for that book I showed you earlier. So anyway, I just wanted to pass that along. And one other thing is just a cool thing that I came across. If anyone's interested in seeing some pictures of the area where the Sugrues are from. Some of you guys have been there anyway, so that's awesome. But I just wanted to mention this. There's an artist colony now that is in Ballinskelligs at a place called Kilrealaig. I don't know if you. That's how it's spelled. Cillrialaig. And artists have to apply to go to this place. And they're good artists and photographers from all over the world who go there, and they just take pictures, or they set up their easel and they paint, and they just paint whatever they can see. So if you go to Google Images, I don't know if you can see this, if you go to Google Images and just search for Kilrealaig, just like that, you can see all these things that people have painted of very close to the old Sugrue area. So it's just the neatest thing. I mean, and some of these are actually for sale. Some of these artists are trying to support themselves. Others are maybe not for sale, but at least you can see them. So I just thought that was cool. How many families can say that they have an international artists retreat within walking distance of their old homestead, where you know, good artists go to just draw whatever they see. I just thought that was pretty cool. So anyway, this is getting kind of long, but I just wanted to pass those things along. And remember that big, thick book that I showed you at the beginning, the Iveragh Peninsula Cultural Atlas, is such a wealth of information. There's so much in that. I just think it's a valuable thing that I might pick up a copy myself if I can save up for it. It's like $60, I think, about $55 or $60. But it's just worth getting a copy or two somewhere into the family while they're still in print. Just wanted to mention it. Okay, that's all for now. So if anybody has any questions, we could Skype and I could show you more, or just email me and I'd be happy to pass along anything else I've seen. Okay, bye-bye.